coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown, Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll be with you for the next couple of hours, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the wide world of sports. Thank you again for being with us tonight. A lot to talk about. Kind of an upset Saturday. A lot of upset fans, that's for sure. Some interesting games. We'll talk about those and break those down a little bit. Unfortunate tonight that Luke can't be here because it was again
how befitting
a
that
bit
he
of
misses today,
a
right?
momentous weekend, and a lot of Alabama fans are quite upset. Luke kind of leading the bunch as he. I don't know.
He said he might make a call.
I'm sure
might have a call for us.
I'm sure a lot of you saw or watched Locked On Bama and saw what he had to say. I'm quoting. The worst loss in Alabama history. Do you think that?
Is it?
Well, I have a friend that disagrees.
Well, based on I saw Alabama's lost to a non-ranked opponent 4 times when they were ranked number 1. And out of those, it looks like it could be the worst. And again, they've had some bad losses. Obviously, the Northern Illinois loss, the La Monroe loss, those always resonate with Alabama people. But those teams were not even a quarter of the talent of this team. And I think that's what makes this one. And I think that's Luke's rationale for why this is such a bad loss is that, you and I talked about it before the show. The transfer portal error can make a team better from one year to the next, and you can get one player and he make a difference. And I said something Saturday. I said, this is the same Vanderbilt team, basically, except for Diego Pavia. They got a couple guys that help, but that guy is the reason they're doing what they're doing. And that's the truth of it. A quarterback can take a mediocre team and make them competitive. And, if anybody knows that, Auburn does from the history that we've had. But regardless, it's not like Kalen DeBoer inherited a bare cupboard. He inherited one.
The most talented team in the country.
That's right. That's overflowing with talent. And so I've heard some of my Alabama friends say, they don't like the music playing at practice and they hate the laid-back style and things aren't real imminent with him. It doesn't seem like. And, there's always going to be that. We said this. There was going to be a comparison to Nick Saban if things ever started to go awry. And, look, I think coaches have to do them. I think they have to be their own person. You can't worry about what somebody before you – he knew what he was taking when he took this job.
There's only 2 cyborgs. That's Bill Belichick and Nick Saban.
Well, I don't think Bill Belichick's even a cyborg.
They aren't anymore out there.
I think Tom Brady –
So you had to replace him with a normal human.
Well, I think Tom Brady's the cyborg because Bill Belichick hadn't done anything since he left – Foxborough.
But it's the same mentality.
It is the same mentality. But, man, I'm telling you, that quarterback in Tom Brady, I was like, the whole deal was who needed who worse because it became a back and forth. And obviously Tom Brady went down to the Tampa Bay Bucks and won a Super Bowl, and Bill Belichick couldn't even have a winning record. And the Patriots are one of the worst teams in the NFL now. I know he's not coaching them anymore.
It wasn't a bad roster at Tampa Bay.
It wasn't a bad roster at Tampa Bay, but – everybody wanted to know who was the king, and I'm telling you, the king's Tom Brady. Tom Brady made Bill Belichick. If he didn't have Tom Brady those years, he might win a Super Bowl or 2, but he don't win all those. And so I just think that, going back to Nick Saban, your point is right. Those 2 guys kind of separated themselves. But Nick Saban, whoever took this job, that's why we talked about it for years. Who's going to be the guy to follow Nick Saban? You're never going to live up to expectations. The week before or 2 weeks before, he has a monumental win at home, his first SEC game. Georgia comes in. They about give it away, but they won it. but they go on the road, and they never led in this game. And they only had the ball for 17 minutes. Alabama's got a defensive problem right now. Can't get off the field. True. 12 of 18 on third down for Vanderbilt. How many? I've never heard of 18 third downs, much less getting 12 of them. And that's the reason Georgia was able to come back. Andy, they were 5 for 5 on fourth downs. They couldn't get off the daggum field. And, look, this is a week-to-week problem for Alabama. This isn't just a rear its ugly head right now and, oh, that was an outlier and we've got to, we'll be okay next week. They've got some issues on defense. I still think their offense is extremely dynamic with Jalen Milroe. I think they got 2 really good running backs. And, of course, Ryan Williams is a freak of nature, and he's doing everything every week. It's some kind of crazy play. Yeah. But that's what you got.
Well, I did the scoreboard show with JJ Friday night. JJ's an Alabama fan,
right?
And we were riding to the station, and he said, it always makes me nervous. Mel Kiper comes out and says, Jalen Milroe went from probably a 4th-round pick to maybe he's the first quarterback taken in the NFL draft next year. That always, comes back to bite you. And then now, I mean, he has, as mediocre a game, and now he's kind of, next up.
Alabama, Andy, we've seen Auburn do this a lot. When you can't get first downs, your offense seems like it never can get in rhythm. And, we've seen it up close and personal this year with Auburn. And when you go 3 and out and you got a team like Vanderbilt that's got a quarterback like Pavia that's gritty and got a chip on his shoulder against everybody, and they ran the ball the way they ran it and were able to move the chains and that clock was ticking, it starts to become a mental thing. And so when the offense does get the ball back, you press a little bit, right? Feel like, hey, I got to score quick. I got to make up time. And, Alabama would fight back, but Vanderbilt would answer right back. And
I think that's the thing about this game, too, is, it's not going to be one of those things where you look back and go, well, that was kind of a fluke. Or they did turn the ball over twice. They were -2 in turnovers, but it's not like they turned the ball over 5 times. I mean, Vanderbilt held Alabama to less than 100 yards rushing. Vanderbilt outgained Alabama in total yards. They controlled the game. I mean, they had the ball for 42 minutes in this game.
That's why I'm saying nobody, even Alabama fans and Alabama personnel, are not saying this was a fluke. They got beat.
No, they
lined up, and there was no fluky bounce up in the air play that like the Ole Miss year when Bo Wallace just slung it up and it bounced up and the guy caught it. Vanderbilt just owned that game. And look, it happens from time to time. Look, it obviously only happens once out of every about 20 years for Alabama. Up until now. But here's the situation moving forward is how does Kalen DeBoer and this team rebound? And look, everything's still in front of them. I know Luke was pretty harsh and, you got to play perfect and all, but at the end of the day, if Alabama, even if they lose one more football game, Andy, and go 10-2, they're probably a playoff team. I mean, with 12 teams going in. And, look, they are talented, very, very talented. If they were to go 9-3, 8-4 with this talent on this team, now I think you're going to start to hear people buzzing a little bit. And there's going to be a lot of Alabama fans disgruntled that maybe in the first year of the 12-team playoff, if they were to miss that playoff with this much talent, it definitely makes you think and wonder what's going to happen moving forward. And I'll say this about Auburn's players, Alabama's players, Texas's players, and, the game hadn't ended 5 minutes, and then 4 weeks later, AHSAA Bond is in the transfer portal on the way to Texas, and he catches maybe one of the most historic passes in Alabama history in an Iron Bowl. I was in a conversation with another Alabama fan this week, and he said, look, Brett, nobody cares anymore. AHSAA Bond is at Texas now, and he made one of the most historic plays in our school's history in an Iron Bowl. We paint pictures down here in the South. Auburn and Alabama for plays that win those big games. He catches that pass. Okay, I'm off. 4 weeks later, I'm out of here. And look, don't think that Ryan Williams, everybody thinks, I got Ryan Williams and Auburn's got Cam Coleman locked down. You ain't got nothing locked down. If they feel like their NIL value has risen or things aren't the way they want it to be, they can put themselves out there and they can shop themselves, man. We hear about it, and that Georgia Tech's running back just got in the portal. I mean, this week. I mean, UNLV's quarterback quit 3 games in. He's in the portal. This is a new day and age. Until the NCAA comes in and puts some type of regulation on when you can get in the portal and how you can do that, these kids are going to reevaluate themselves every year. And what if Ryan Williams goes to Alabama and says, hey, I want $4 million this year? You see what I'm doing. I'm the best receiver in the conference. I'm 17 years old, if in case anybody didn't know that. I'm
youngest player ever to lose to Vandy.
Yeah, that's right. And youngest player to just keep kicking everybody's tail by himself. What if he goes to Alabama? And is Alabama going to pay him? I would think they would. But what if somebody goes, we're not going to pay you $4 million? You don't think that guy's not going to get in the transfer portal? You don't think he's going to get a barrage of offers from Ohio State and other teams like that? Look, it's the world we live in, man.
Well, I vividly recall a prominent athletic director hearing him say the words coming out of his mouth, give us a year, and we're going to get control of this thing. And that was 3 months ago. So
John
we'll see if that happens. And he seemed to insinuate we're on the road to that. But
here's another thing.
There's got to be if there's no regulations, then it is exactly what it's Thunderdome. Anything goes.
Anything goes. Look, you can read into it all you want. It may have been nothing, but after the Auburn game, Kirby Smart made a point to go across the field and find Cam Coleman. Embrace him, pat him on the chest, have something to say in his ear hole, and then walked off. And don't think he's not still recruiting that guy. And look, I don't know. Hugh Freeze may have been on the other side of the field doing the same thing to one of their offensive linemen, saying, hey, buddy, hey, enjoy. I know you're enjoying your time over here. We're going to enjoy you next year. It's going on. I mean, these guys, as soon as the game's over, they're over there pillaging and plundering the other team. And they're trying to – and it's the world that we live in, and it's the hand that's being forced on those guys. You don't have anybody for 4 years, Andy.
I don't know if it's being forced on them. They are leveraging it right now because they have the leverage.
No, I said the coaches are being forced. Their hands being forced. The coaches are being forced to have to go and pillage and plunder and do everything they can because nobody's safe anymore. You don't have somebody on lockdown over here for 3 or 4 years just because you got them to commit the first year.
That's true. Well, back to the game, and then we got to take a break. Kalen DeBoer, Alabama could very well win the national title this year. If not, they may still be the favorite. I don't know. But they could very easily win it. Kalen DeBoer could win 2 or 3 more national championships in his time at Alabama.
Right.
But he's always going to be the guy that lost to Vandy. And, I mean, it was one game, but yet it wasn't. And I think that's the quandary that Alabama fans find themselves in right now.
Some games carry way more weight than others, good or bad, right? And look, you're right. There's things that can't be erased ever. Will it make his life a lot easier if he goes on to make the playoff and win a championship and maybe win a couple at Alabama? Yeah, they'll go, man, you remember that terrible loss, but we rebounded and he ended up having a good career. Now, could he be on the road to – good Lord, that was a sign of things to come. Boy, this thing just fell apart.
Well, when you're already going after his the clothes he wears.
Well, that
man,
was terrible.
It's getting
look. That was terrible. And look, he looked like they were at practice. And I think somebody said, you are who you are, the way you dress and the way you approach things. And it said, Nick Saban, they were just using him because he was the previous coach. Business-like, ran the team business-like. This guy looked like they just got out of the weight room and done maxes, and they say, oh, by the way, guys, we got a game. Let's get on out there and hit the field. And if he would have won that football game, it wouldn't have sold. Maybe there'd been still some things said about the shirt because it wasn't.
It would have been done in laughter.
It would have been in laughter. Like, look, he even Kalen DeBoer didn't even put a polo on. He rode out there with a T-shirt and beat Vanderbilt. Now you lose to him. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Did you leave your clothes at home? Did you just have that crammed in the back of you, in the bag, and that's all you had? I mean, it was not a good look.
Yeah. Give Vandy credit, though. They
get all the credit, Andy.
All the credit.
Look, Malachi Moore upset, showed his tail. I get it. He's a competitor. He overreacted. He acted crazy. He acted like a child. Went up and kicked the football. Bad look all the way around. They have not experienced anything like that. You think about it.
Welcome to reality.
This is reality. Somebody said, Alabama fans, Nick Saban era on, are like trust fund babies. Yeah. They've never had anything. They just expect to win championships, and they just think it happens every year, kind of like when Christmas rolls around on the 25th day of December. All the Bama fans prior to Nick Saban understand that what reality is. This generation of Alabama fans have not experienced reality. They may be starting to get a taste of it.
That was a stock market crash on Saturday.
That one was Black Saturday, Black Monday, and everything else combined.
All right, we got to take our first break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout Central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
Red Flag Pest Control is Central Alabama's best in pest control, with hometown service in Lake Martin and now the greater Montgomery area. When you see pests, throw down the red flag. Termites, bed bugs, carpenter bees, mosquitoes, or general pests. Red Flag gets the job done at the right price for your home or business. At Lake Martin, call 888-943-0353 or in Montgomery, 334-265-1831. Red Flag, the best in pest control in Central Alabama.
I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you. We are brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Wonderful place to have lunch or dinner right here in downtown Alexander City. Go and check them out one day this week. Great food, great people, great atmosphere there at JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Again, talking about a lot that's going on in the SEC this week. Of course, the Auburn Tigers went to Athens. Lost for the 8th time to the Georgia Bulldogs.
The best and the most frequent letter in Auburn's vocabulary right now is an L. And it just
It's unfortunate.
It is 4 years of complete and total mediocrity and
really
and absolutely and
going on 5.
Well, discombobulation and anything that you can come up with for a program to hit a place that you and I have never seen before in our lifetime.
It's the lowest valley. I mean, now, 2012. If you just want to talk about sheer,
that team was terrible.
But that was one game. But that was a low valley. But we're in this valley. I don't know, but
Auburn usually rebounds. Auburn usually
we cannot
rebounds.
climb out of it. I don't know.
Well, and look, I think
there's reasons for that, but
you're looking at a team that's in the middle of the portal era, and you got a coach that is not very good at going out in the portal. I mean, let's just be honest. I appreciate his efforts on recruiting. I think he's doing an outstanding job. But you got to play the portal game now, and you got to be able to go out and get some key pieces. Look,
we brought in KLS.
He's the only piece that I see that came in this group. Percy Lewis is beyond horrible at left tackle. I mean, you bring this guy in to try to shore. He's awful, Andy. There's no other way I can spin it. He botched so many plays in the first couple of series. I mean, and he can't move.
I'm just saying, Pro Football Focus credited him with giving up one pressure on a pass play.
Well, guess
what? Now those two, I think that first play was supposed to be a run. I'm not even sure anybody knows what that first
false
play
start,
was
holding.
Supposed to be.
What else you want me to add in there? Everybody under the sun.
He had a bad game.
Was talking about how bad he played.
He had a bad
game. Who else did Auburn go out and get in the portal that you feel like really?
Bobby Travis, I think, has played fairly well. The kid from Indiana, 96, Philip Bleedy has played. I mean, those guys on the defensive line, Isaiah Rakes he's been okay. Mausi, I think, has played pretty well at linebacker.
Yeah.
But most of those guys, offensively, quarterback is the biggest position. We had an opportunity. We can say that. We can keep saying that. It's not going to change anything. But looking back, those are the kind of decisions a head coach needs to make. And when you don't make them, that's what it kind of hangs around your neck.
And look, I'm tired of he's the best we got. And so, okay, well, who's to blame for that? Hugh Freeze is to blame for that. Guess what? He's playing like a guy that knows he's the only guy that they've got. He goes out there, that fourth down play, Andy, I don't care what happened the rest of the game. Hugh Freeze should have took him over there and sat him down and said, you know what, if it's going to be like this, then you can just sit out, and then we'll figure out. Look, I remember very, very vividly back in Little League football. I had a kid, didn't want to do the things the way they wanted to do it, so he came over there and sat down on the sideline with us, and I played somebody at quarterback the rest of the game. Now, we got killed, but it was a point. It was like, you know what? It's not all about you. Mm-hmm. It's not about the way you either buy into what we're doing or just come over here and sit down. Andy, you said it. It was at the end of the quarter. It was the most pivotal part of the game for Auburn. They decided to go for it in their own territory.
On 44, first play of the fourth quarter, down 11, 21-10.
And he goes out there.
And the drive started at our own 5-yard line, by the way. We had moved it out to the 44. I mean, it was a nice drive. Things were happening. I have no problem whatsoever with us going for it.
Zero. Yeah, I don't think you had a choice. I think if you were going to be in that football game, you needed to keep that drive going. You needed to answer. You needed to score. And he decides he's going to go out there. And it's like you said, is he the only one that knew he checked out of that? Because even Jarquez Hunter was like, why am I thought I'm supposed to be behind you. And, why I'm over here. And then he kind of looked like, and then he kind of just floated over there to the right and stood around like, what are you doing, dude? Like in the middle of him being tackled, Jarquez Hunter's going like this. And so if you go back and look at the play where it was designed to go, Andy, it was blocked perfectly. And you would have gotten Jarquez Hunter would have gotten a first down easily.
It looked like they were blocking for a read option.
They were blocking for the play that was called during the timeout.
They were blocking or a dive left.
I mean, so I don't understand what's going through this kid's mind, dude, and why he thinks he's got the perfect scenario when every time he does this, he screws it up. Now, again, I talked to Jason Caldwell today. He and I had a long conversation. And now he does a lot of good things at the line of scrimmage that don't get talked about. Okay? So there's good and bad, obviously, with everything. But his bad is so glaring and comes at the absolute worst times, it seems like, that you're like, can you just run the play? Just run the play. You know, it's like Andy Griffith with the daggum freezer out there with Aunt B, and she keeps trying to use the freezer. He said, just call the man. And she's like, well, I wanted to. Just call the man and let him come fix the daggum thing. Just run the play, Peyton. Run the play.
I got to admit, look, I've tried to defend him. I mean, again, he does some good things. And I thought, in my opinion, he played well in the game. We didn't turn the ball over. He made some nice throws. It could have been a touchdown to Cam Coleman if he runs the route a little bit different.
Could have been a touchdown to Malcolm Simmons. Should have caught it.
Well, I mean, look, he got shielded. I give him a pass on that. He thinks he should have caught it. I appreciate that.
The ball went through his hand.
It went right through the chute, right down his chest.
Right down the chute.
It was a perfect throw by Peyton Thorne.
Go attack the football. Don't let it come get in your body.
Yeah, I mean, but the guy was kind of on his back.
He was. I mean, well, he wasn't being interfered with. I thought it was just good coverage.
It was.
But the ball, I will give Peyton Thorne credit. He dropped a dime in on that play.
And, you know, we're not making those plays, and we're screwing up 4th and 1. That's what this team's going to be known for. I mean, we put ourselves in position to win, and then we find a way to screw it up. We turn the ball over. We throw a pick six. Whatever on defense, we can't stop somebody. We can't stop Cal from going up and down the field. In the first, I mean, it just Cal all of a sudden doesn't look like that bad of a team.
Just a bad.
I mean,
just,
you know, for all the we love about Cam Ward, he did bring them back. But they were down 35-10. And
yeah, but that's why Cam Ward's who he is.
Yeah,
that's why
true.
He's the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy.
It's just
you would think Auburn would go, hey, didn't we have a guy named Cam that won a Heisman?
But that 4th and 1, I throw up my hands and say, I mean, if Peyton Thorne went rogue, knowing good and well this is a play call, and I don't know
he went rogue.
I do not know how to. I don't know how to resolve this when Hugh Freeze says there was no option on the play.
And then he says there's two options.
And then
in the interview, he mumbles in the hallway and goes, well, I ain't going into all that. I could tell you all the different stuff. Like, I mean, it's like they're clearly not on the same page.
Clearly.
Is it an argument? Is it like, hey, I know more than you? Is it Peyton Thorne going, you know what, I hear you, but I know more about this play than you do, and I'm gonna go up here and evaluate this, and I'm gonna change it if I think it's a better play?
I want to believe that Peyton Thorne got to the line of scrimmage, looked at the defensive alignment and said, dive left's not going to work. The best option we got is to do a little read option, and they're not going to be expecting it.
Instead, I'm going to call a play into 3 guys that didn't get blocked.
And it went horribly wrong. That's what I want to believe. And now what actually happened? We lost 4 yards on 4th and 1. That's what happened.
I've never seen a coach literally, I think, almost cry. And did you see Hugh Freeze at that?
He literally said, what are we doing?
No, his face, he went, well, what did he do? He's like, what? He couldn't even get mad. He was so upset, sad that he's like, dude, I just sent him out there to do this. And it's like.
We have 5 minutes to get this right. And we screw. So that's
dude,
what this team is.
This is where I am with it now. I laughed. I mean, it's like when it happened, it's like, why? I didn't expect anything other than a 4 or 5 yard loss. You blew. Did you call timeout and have a break between quarters to run that? And it's like then it becomes an argument again after the game. Hugh Freeze pretty much said. Without saying it, he's like, he's an idiot, and he changed everything, and there was no option. And then they catch up with Peyton Thorne in the hall, and he goes into this daggum John Gruden explanation of why the play, and then he stops halfway through and goes, I'm not going to go into any further on that. I could tell you all about it, but there's no need. And he just mumbled his way on out of the question.
And they asked poor old Jarquez Hunter, and he says, why don't we just run the ball?
Well, yeah, that comes from a guy that had 13 carries and 90. Is it impossible to let this guy have 100 yards? What is the problem?
We should have known this coming in. And I said this when we hired him. I said, Hugh Freeze does not like to run the ball. He wants to throw the ball. You go back and look at all of his offense.
But obviously he lies because he says, I want to be a run-heavy guy.
That's what he said. But
it never shows,
He don't mean it. That's the Gus in him. I don't know.
Hey, this came from a coach that coached against Malzahn and Hugh Freeze this weekend. And he said, literally, Malzahn had like 5 or 6 plays, and he was very easy to coach against. He said Hugh Freeze is hard to coach against when he's got a quarterback that knows how to run that RPO to perfection. He goes, he ain't had that guy yet. He said Peyton Thorne kind of will give you a shot every once in a while, but he said, I'm talking about literally can absolutely maneuver and do the things you got to do in that. He's like, man, it's so complex. And when he's got a guy that's on his page, he said, man, he is hard to coach against. But right now.
Oh, you can see it. I mean, there are flashes where you go, man, I mean, if we're just coming in line and we're reading the defense right, how are they going to stop it? When you got athletes out there at wide receiver like that, when you got a running back in the backfield like that, and you got guys that can block, it's just.
KLS is going to eclipse 1,000 yards. Yeah. It's going to be the first receiver since '99 to eclipse 1,000 yards, and we're going to have a losing record. I think we got a phone call.
Oh, okay. Let's go to it.
Go there, McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, y'all just need to just tell them, man, get off Alabama. You need to get on Auburn. They ain't the one got. They got to play the same team.
What's that?
They got to play Vanderbilt.
Oh,
well, I mean, we've been on Auburn for 20 minutes.
Auburn ain't gonna make it to the Iron Bowl. They're gonna be in the Tiger Bowl.
Yeah, they're not going to be any bowls. There's not going to be any bowls for Auburn for sure.
Ain't going to be no Auburn. Then we need to find a coach, half of the team. All of them ain't going to be nowhere.
Well, I'm not on board with firing anybody right now. I think.
Hey, you might as well because he ain't got no quarterback. He ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing. The master shame.
Yeah, I think that I agree with the point that it's the program's where it is. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say Auburn don't have any. Well, hold on just a second. I'm not going to say Auburn doesn't have anything, okay? They got some really talented players, and they still got some residual players that aren't up to cuff.
Hey, you got stuff, but you ain't got nobody to throw the ball to them.
I mean, I'm not arguing with you on that, and that's not anybody's fault but Hugh Freeze's.
He the coach. He the coach.
He should have gone out and got somebody.
He can't do no better than what he doing. He don't need to be there. Y'all have better coaching than that. You'd have kept Mel by Thorne, but did better than that.
Hard to argue.
We had more yards with Hugh Freeze in this game than we probably did last 2 games.
You should have kept Malzahn.
No, they need to keep Malzahn. That guy's still. I watched.
Yeah, he did better than that. Y'all ain't gonna get to the Tiger Bowl this year.
So you must be a Bammer.
Ain't nothing. I'm like Auburn, but you ain't got nothing.
Well, I mean, what do you want to do?
Nothing, man. They ain't getting no. Man,
you want to wave a magic wand? You got a magic wand you want to wave?
At home. You're gonna be at home for the holiday. And goodbye. Bye.
I mean, you gonna wave a magic wand? What do you want to do?
I hope we're all home for the holiday.
That's right, right. But I mean, seriously, what do you want to do about it? I've said it. I'm blue in the face on Auburn Blitz. It was all in his court. He had the power to decide what he wanted to do. We have seen over and over and over. You can take a team that's got pieces, and they don't have to be an elite team. But you've got a quarterback that can do the things they need to do, can elevate a mediocre team to very competitive and actually overachieve. You see it happening at Vanderbilt right now with Pavia. You see what Miami's doing with Cam Ward. Miami hadn't been any good. And Miami still shows that if you take him off that team, they probably lost 2 or 3 more games this year. So it's quarterback, man. It's quarterback play.
Look, you don't with nothing. You don't roll up nearly 500 yards against Oklahoma. You don't roll up nearly 440 yards against Arkansas, who, by the way, shut down Tennessee's offense.
Right.
Auburn ran up and down the field, just turned the ball over 5 times.
Right.
Auburn's got pieces.
Yeah.
Again, okay, yeah, we all agree there's a deficiency at quarterback. But that's why you go out and recruit a borderline 5-star in Walker White last year. That's why you bring in Deuce Knight this year. That's why you go out and get a portal quarterback at the end of this season. Let those guys compete, because I mean that's how you retain some of these other guys and say, look, stick with us.
What's
one
Auburn's
more year.
record with Cam Ward right now? Just be honest.
I mean,
what do you think?
I would say we'd be 5-1.
5-1 at worst.
At worst.
Would have had a legit shot over there.
You know,
Saturday
look, I can't say for sure, but
well,
I think he would. I think he would elevate us a fair amount.
You don't lose to Cal. They're not losing to Cal with him. You're not going to lose to Arkansas either. I mean, you're just not.
But that's a fruitless conversation. I mean,
no, the fruitless conversation is you decided to stay with Peyton Thorne.
Admitted.
That's the fruit.
I mean,
and the reason we're 2-4 is because we have very mediocre to subpar quarterback play.
Admitted.
And and then the other point to go along with the caller, we all were worried about, right? We go out and recruit the best class of receivers we've ever recruited, right? And somewhere in Hugh Freeze's mind, he thought that quarterback room was going to be good enough to do what we need to do. We were all thinking, we didn't expect championships this year, Andy, but we looked at the schedule and said, man, this is a very manageable, could win 8 games on here. We got 2 through the first 6.
I mean, I thought 4-2 was a worst-case scenario, if I'm being honest.
Didn't we all say that?
Yeah.
Nobody picked us in the first 5 games at home to go 2-3. None of us did. We could see 3-2. We could see 4-1. And then with a little luck, we could have said, hey, if we get on a heater, we go into the Oklahoma game undefeated, and it ended up being that one of the best games we played all year. Probably should have won that more than any of them. We could have been 5-0 going into Georgia. But instead, man, we have won 2 ball games against 2 teams that aren't even on the radar anywhere.
Yeah. Never did get the name. Mystery caller. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, he's already thinking about the holidays.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
but newsflash, Auburn's not going to be in a bowl.
Is Auburn going to have a winning season? That's the question.
That's the question.
Will this be 4 in a row? Four losing seasons.
I think the biggest, this second half of this season is going to go a long way determining the future of Hugh Freeze in the loveliest village. I just believe how we respond, how we come out of this off week, because again, these are some winnable games, and if we can't win any of them, if we tank, then the margin for error in year 3 is going to be so razor.
Obviously, Missouri doesn't look near the team everybody thought they were going to be.
No.
They scraped by Vanderbilt, which obviously seems like a pretty good win now at home, and they just got their doors blown off at Texas A&M. Texas A&M seems to be maybe the more formidable opponent of all coming down the stretch, save Alabama.
I would expect to get Missouri's best effort.
That's my point. I mean, you're going to go into that place. Everybody's looking at Auburn on their schedule as a must-win.
Well, right now, Missouri, Kentucky, and Band, you're looking at Auburn going, yeah, that's a win.
That's a win. That's absolutely what they're looking at.
So we got to make them pay.
Monroe may be doing that.
Got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep this in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout Central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
Red Flag Pest Control is Central Alabama's best in pest control with hometown service in Lake Martin and now the greater Montgomery area. When you see pests, throw down the red flag. Termites, bed bugs, carpenter bees, mosquitoes, or general pests. Red Flag gets the job done at the right price for your home or business. At Lake Martin, call 888-943-0353 or in Montgomery, 334-265-1831. Red Flag, the best in pest control in Central Alabama.
I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. Let's go back to the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline. Hey, caller, you're on Sports Blitz Live.
What's up, caller? 3, 2, 1, you're off. Okay. Go ahead, caller. You're on the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, James?
Listen, y'all going at it tonight pretty good. That's for people like me. Hugh Freeze don't say what he inherited, so he can throw it off for what happened in this year, that he should be 5-0 at this point against winnable games that got the same kind of talent that he has, or he has better talent. But I was calling about this here though. What if Brandon was talking about going in there, what to do with these next few games as far as players, or what direction you want to go? Do you want to play the young guys? Do you want to do this? What about this? What if you go in and you identify the guys you like, say like McLeod? I don't know if he got a 6-year, 4 years, or the people that could red shirt right now that's really good football players that we have. What if you go to them and say, look, man, I'm going to pay you the NIL money for you to come back next year, and you're bidding off of your recruiting class, and then you're bringing in another recruiting class next year, you should be loaded, because this is the era where you can rebuild a team now. It ain't back in the day where you can't rebuild a team. You can rebuild a team in 2 years. So I don't want to hear this. You don't have no talent, or what were you left with? We know what you were left with. What you gonna do about it? And the last thing, hey Brett, you owe me a big dinner, don't you? Remember me and you betted that Deion Sanders was gonna have a better record than Auburn last year, and I told you Deion ain't gonna finish no less than 9-3. They may make the playoff, man. If they get by Kansas State this weekend, they gonna make the playoff, buddy. So you supposed to give me this big dinner at Pepper State Wine?
I don't remember. James, I love you to death, brother, but you have absolutely made this up. And me and you ain't bet on nothing.
ask Randy.
Oh, you must have been talking to Randy. Hey, look, I'll buy you a meal. I don't mind. We'll come and hang out. But me and you ain't bet on that. I promise you, brother.
Remember that conversation I said last year?
Can't remember.
Take Auburn roster or Deion roster, Colorado roster.
Right.
You said you would take Auburn roster, and I said, well, I bet you a dinner that Deion now will be better than Auburn next year. And they are. But ask Randy. Just
I'll have to. Hey, look. Hey,
we'll go to the video.
I don't quite remember things as well as I used to, James. I have selective memory, so I must have blocked that out.
But anyway, what you think about that as far as the asking the good player like McLeod and Sante and them guys that maybe got a 6-year, come on back, let me pay you because you're not going to make no NFL. And you combine that with some guys that you can redshirt that you see, and then you get the young guy like Perry Thompson them in there to play, or either you just play the young guys and get them ready for next year because you ain't going no bowl game. Thank you.
Well,
appreciate it, John.
Look, I guess everything's on the table now.
Yeah, I got no problem with bringing those guys.
Well, I guess you can go talk to them and say, you going to tell Jalen McLeod, hey, brother, we don't want you to play no more this year. We're going to pay you NIL. Just sit out.
Are we talking about at the end of the year?
I don't know. I think you're talking about right now where you sell.
I don't want to see that, to be perfect.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, look, is the season over? Yeah, it is. And again, does it suck to sit here and talk about being 2-4 and, and pretty much out of the conversation? Everything is so up in the air now with how you deal with players and what you want to do and how you want to handle each situation. Again, I'm kind of for this. Look, you're not playing for anything. And if Walker White's a real option, Andy, I said this to you guys in a text, but obviously everybody thought I was stupid, so I just didn't say anything else. But I would rather have Walker White just play the rest of the year and learn on the fly and get these snaps under his belt and get these games under his belt. Peyton Thorne ain't coming back. Who cares if he wins 2 games, 3 games coming down the stretch? What has he done for you? I mean, seriously, what if we go 5-7? What good has that done anybody? So at some point in time, you got to say, Peyton, it's been nice. We appreciate it. But we got to move on, and we got to start playing some guys that are going to be here and that are going to contribute. If not, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. I really don't know why the decisions are made the way they are. But Andy, I don't. What is your thoughts on that? If you feel like the season's over and there's not a lot to play for, I mean, other than some moral victories, I mean, what is the difference in going, 3-9 versus 5-7? I mean, seriously, what's the difference?
There is none. But I still look at the season, I guess, because I'm the optimist of the group, I guess. But I look at Missouri and I think, okay, if you can win that game, then you could I look at Kentucky, I look at Vandy, I look at Monroe, and I look at Texas A&M and at home late in the season, and I say, if you're ever going to turn things around, and that's what we want to see, right? We keep talking about, can we turn this thing around? Well, it starts with Missouri. If you can win that game, then you might win the next game. And if you do that, you might win the next game. So I'm of the mind that we focus all the energy on Missouri, keep everything the way it is, and try to win that game. If we lose that game, then I'm with you. Why not let Walker White play out the rest of the games? Because if you got any semblance that he's the future and he can run more than 10 plays in the offense, then throw him out there because we got absolutely nothing to lose.
Luke said, Luke Thrash said, not turning the ball over was a big plus, especially at Georgia. But what do we do at QB? Clearly he can't win big games. So do we play Hank or White just to give them experience to stick with someone that might – exactly what I just said. Luke, I'm with you, dude. I totally agree. I don't understand, and I don't see the point of this anymore with Peyton Thorne. I mean, if you started off the season 4-1 at home and you go over here and you lose to Georgia and you're like, okay, I mean, we're 4-2 and we got a chance in this stretch to go to 7-2 and things are looking up, that's a different ball game. Man, this guy is a turnover machine. His numbers are so vanilla at the end of the day. In big games, Andy, his numbers, he either screws it up really bad or he's 16 of 27 for 200 yards, and it's just his QB rating's just.
He was the number 5 passer in the conference coming into the game. He had a better passer rating than Carson Beck. I'm just saying that's a fact.
That is so Auburn, man.
But that's a fact, man.
It's just a fact of L's, though. It ain't getting done.
I get
He threw 6 interceptions, too. And I don't know what goes into a QB rating. But Carson Beck had thrown 2 interceptions, and he had thrown 6. So I don't – okay. I mean, their yardage was same. I think it was less than 100 yards. I think both of them had thrown 10 touchdowns. But he's a turnover machine, and he makes bad decisions at the most crucial time of the games. And it's been going on for a year and a half now. So I understand what you're saying. And we want, if that's what we want to do, and we want to look down, and Auburn's ranked 6th in the league in offense, and their quarterback's 5th in the league in QBR and all that kind of stuff, and that's what we want to hang our hats on now, then let's just hang our hats on that.
Well, I'll say this, and then we'll go to break. Since the second half of the Arkansas game, he threw 1 pick, which wasn't his fault, bounced off Cam Coleman's hands. He threw the pick against Oklahoma. That's really the only turnover he's had in 2.5 games.
Well, it was a big one. And
it was a huge
It was a
one.
catastrophic decision.
And Hugh Freeze has taken ownership of it, says, I shouldn't have put him in that position.
I shouldn't have put my 5th-year quarterback that's played football, I mean – man,
up a score. Are you
seriously having to tell this guy and hand feed him and wipe his rear end to the point where you got to just he's that fragile, Andy? I mean, I just don't think there's any freshman or sophomore out there that can make as bad of decisions that he does. I mean, in crucial moments.
I get it. I just say. 1 turnover that was his fault in the last 2.5 games. That's all I'm saying. That again, that's a fact. I completely agree with what you're saying. And after the 4th and 1, I'm pretty much out.
If Jarquez Hunter doesn't break 2 tackles and score a touchdown, we score 6 points. I mean, and it's 31-6. I mean, I hear you. He's not going to do anything. Look, if you've got a team that's slap loaded and you got 5 All-Americans on the offensive line and you got 2 running backs that are just slap studs and your defense is the number 3 defense in the country, guess what you want your quarterback to do? You can be a game manager. We can't afford – we got to have a dynamic quarterback. We got to have a guy that can't go out there and just say, hey, look, they're going to say I played a good game because I didn't turn the ball over.
Is there a guy like that on the roster?
I don't know. But, again, this is who Hugh Freeze decided to ride with. And he recruited the best recruiting wide receiver class in school history, and he decided to leave this guy. Everybody that's not a fan of Auburn was taking that shot at Auburn in all season, right? They're like, y'all got all these great receivers. They ain't got nobody throwing the ball. And we were trying and hoping that Hugh Freeze knew more than we did, right? And that Peyton Thorne had developed. And he was so much better in the talk that Hugh Freeze was giving all of us. And we were like, once again, He pulls the carrot dangling in our face. He pulled us in to believe.
The Cal game was, it's kind of the epitome of that. All right, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more. Love to hear from you. 256-234-6221.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Daytonville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Sure. Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Live program. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. Andy and Brett here with you. We're brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by Sunshine Heating and Air. For all your heating and cooling needs, give Kevin Keel and his crew a call. Hopefully the weather looks like it's going to change a little bit, get a little cooler as we move on into October. So be sure you got that heat pump or furnace ready to go.
Hey, I got to say this, boy. I mean, you know, kudos to Georgia for the run they've had under Kirby, but they've also had another run that you got to talk about it. And then once again, they have another player arrested, Colby Young, wide receiver, assault and battery against an unborn child. He's the 7th Georgia player this year arrested. I think Kirby's had over 30 players arrested since he's been there. What is going on, dude? The culture, like, somehow they're keeping it together, and when you win as much as Georgia, this stuff doesn't seem to matter as much. Now, again, Auburn kind of went through something like that at the tail end of Gene Chiswick's era. We had a bunch of people arrested, but we were losing horrendously and looked like everything was out of control. And boy, it reared its ugly head. Georgia somehow can fight through all of these assault and battery and drunk driving and reckless driving and just all these daggum bizarre arrests, man. I mean, Ra Thomas, he just gets kicked off the dang team. He's so bad. I mean, he obviously had so many problems. It's one after another.
Yeah. I don't know. It's that one is seems to be a little bit more heinous than the rest. Now, I mean, I guess innocent until proven guilty, but It is a theme. It is a culture issue at the University of Georgia right now. It comes back to kind of the program that you run and the kids, I guess, that you recruit. And I don't know. It just it seems to happen every year. That's for sure.
He transferred from Miami, so he was a transfer portal guy. And then if you go over to Georgia Tech, the wide receiver that transferred from Alabama, Christian Leary, he enters the portal yesterday in the middle of the year. I mean, you don't know, man. Like, here's another thing. And I don't think Auburn's roster is to that point, but you could have a freshman or so, some of these highly touted freshmen. Would you be shocked if Auburn had one of these star-studded players that's a freshman? You know, here in a few games, if this losing continues, to go, hey, man, I ain't playing anymore this year. I'm getting in the portal, and I'm out. And, I mean, it wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibility. Andy, we're seeing it happen all over college football right now.
No, it wouldn't be shocking. I mean, you know, you always think differently of the school you pull for. But I mean, we haven't seen any guys really that have any kind of – that I recall. I mean, we've had some set out of bowl games and stuff like that. But
we haven't seen it happen at Auburn yet. But again, what would you be shocked? No, I wouldn't, because it's the world we live in now. There's no accountability. There's nobody holding these kids. There's no contractual agreement. They can do what they want to do. And, again, it's part of this. Was watching this other group and was in a conversation with another couple of guys, and they were like, look, the way this thing's laid out, the good coaches in college football are dwindling. They're either going to the NFL, they're getting out, they're retiring. They don't want to put up with this anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're a couple of breaks behind. We'll go ahead and take another one. We'll come back with hour number 2 of Sports Blitz Live right after these messages.
With summer here, the kids out of school, and fun at the lake, illness or injury can strike at any time. Whether you're on vacation or just don't have time to go see your primary doctor, visit your friends and professionals at Ivy Creek Urgent Care, located at Highway 49 South, next to Stillwater's main entrance. With a rotation of 4 professional doctors and 3 nurse practitioners, they honor all walk-ins, get you in, properly treated, and out swift so you can be back to the summer fun fast. When you need urgent, see Ivy Creek Urgent Care, Daveville. No appointment needed.
The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rate. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekend. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tri-Tunes and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care, open 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer.
serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and this ain't the Auburn Blitz. To Sports Blitz.
So far,
Live.
it has been the last 45 minutes. So.
Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you, taking you up to 9 o'clock this evening. Hey, just want to put this out there. Put this down on your calendar. Saturday, October the 12th, there is going to be a benefit supporting childhood leukemia. This is in at the Standard Deluxe in Waverly, Alabama, just up the road, just up 280 from this area. There's going to be some great entertainment by The Ladder and Luke Keel. You can make some donations. Again, it's for, childhood cancer, really to benefit to small children around here.
Luke, I want to say that's Kevin's son.
Okay.
Kevin Keel's son, Luke.
Hayes Hunter and Greer Bailey. So those are the two little children that are kind of dealing with this specific.
Right.
This will be from 11 until 4 on October the 12th on Saturday.
That's coming up.
It's coming up. So keep that in mind. If you got any questions, call Terry Lawhorn, 256-794-9073.
All right, let's go to the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, good evening, guys. How's it going?
Terry, what's up, brother?
Hey, Luke.
Luke,
Brett.
come on, man.
Andy, didn't you make the statement on the Auburn Blitz? You think the Auburn is a better football team this year?
I think that we have gotten better, yes, than we were against Cal. I'll say that.
Well, to say Auburn is better, isn't that like turning down a chance to go to the Playboy Mansion to go on The View?
Oh, my. Well,
You have him baffled.
A million things are going through my head right now.
Right.
I mean, they played Georgia off their feet last year. This year we lose by 18 points. How in the world is that better? Because they lined up better? They got in the huddle better?
Well, that game in particular, you're right. I mean, but it was in Athens versus in Jordan-Hare. That has a lot to do with it.
The field's still 100 yards long.
Well, come on now. Playing SEC, going on the road in the SEC is never easy for us.
Okay, now let's just erase that. Auburn, Jordan-Hare is not the place it used to be. Okay.
Unfortunately, you're right.
I
agree.
Brett, you were just talking about Georgia. A lot of those things. Look, Gene Chizik was the second worst hire Auburn ever made.
Yeah. Brian Harsin, by far number one.
He lost control of that football team, and that's why. Look, when you're winning, winning cures all. We all know that.
Well, I brought this up earlier in the show. And Jarquez Hunter's this kind of player. He had 13 carries, 91 yards. He had that long run for a touchdown. If you take that away, Auburn kicks 2 field goals, man. It's just not pretty. And 31, not that 31-13, 31-6 is much different, but everybody's saying we played better and this, that, and the other. It's still an ugly loss. No. And we covered. Look, is that where we are as a program? When you've got people bragging that you covered the point spread. Hey, well, at least we didn't.
From that program that brags about moral victories.
I'm just tired of all of that. As an Auburn fan, that's not who we are. And I said this years ago. Tennessee was, going through and still obviously going through because they didn't get it done on the road. We're Tennessee post Philip Fulmer, and Tennessee's been in a 20-something year abyss, and we're now in the longest run that in our lifetime. I've never experienced 4 losing seasons in a row. And we just, like Andy said about 45 minutes ago, we just can't seem to figure out how to climb out of this thing. And, I'm just tired of all the the things, we're getting better, and, and I don't see it. I hear people, I see effort, but aren't you supposed to give effort? Aren't you supposed to play hard? We've let this Georgia rivalry get completely away from us. They've beaten us 8 years in a row, man. It's hard to stomach.
Well, it's like I said, Brett, when they talk about Hank Brown throwing 3 interceptions. Well, last time I checked, and I'm no mathematician, but you had to pass 3 to get to 6. So I don't know what the love with Peyton Thorne is. I'm tired of hearing how he gives us the best chance to win. He also gives them the best chance to lose.
I can only buy that so much longer when he does nothing but lose football games. Seriously, that becomes an idiotic statement at some point. When every time you lose a game and your record's 2-4 and you say he gives you the best chance to win, it says a couple of things to me. It tells me that everybody else in that quarterback room is horrendous. And number 2, that you rode with a guy that you thought, and obviously your eyes told you something different than what you see. And he must be great in practice, because in the games, he just cannot ever do anything to win a big football game. He just can't do it.
So you're telling me I would say, okay, Coach Freeze, you're telling me you turned down the quarterback at Miami who came for 20 points down the other night? You're turning down the quarterback at Vanderbilt who just beat Alabama? Those are 2 of the guys you turned down to keep Peyton Thorne, among others, many, many others?
It's just real frustrating, man.
That's what I'm saying, and those are the questions I'd like to see him get asked. But the media's not going to ask him those questions. Especially at Tiger Talk, they're going to get Joe or whatever from wherever, and he's going to ask him some softball question, no hard question. Tell him how his family is all proud they're glad to have an Auburn, and I am too. I was a Hugh Freeze guy from the get-go. But wrong is wrong, period. And what he's doing is wrong. He's trying to convince people that he's got something he doesn't have. And no matter how much he tries to sell us that Peyton Thorne was gotten better, he has not. He has not gotten better.
So you ready to roll with Walker White or Hank Brown? Is that the answer right now?
I don't know. I don't know if the answer is there right now.
Well, how unsure was Hugh Freeze himself to go ahead and bench him?
I've asked all along. How come freshmen are succeeding all over the country at quarterback except at Auburn? Oklahoma just walked there and beat us with a freshman.
Yeah, and regardless of what
did Oklahoma beat us or did we beat us?
Well, he made a throw.
Oklahoma had more points.
He made a throw, and he played his guts out in the last part of the fourth quarter, and we helped him for sure. But I think Terry's point is that why can't our guy at this point come in there and look? Obviously, Hugh Freeze second guessed his own decision by going with Hank Brown in the New Mexico game and then starting him against Arkansas. He even had doubt that Peyton Thorne, but now we're back to he gives us the best chance to win scenario, and all he's done in the last 2 ball games is make a crucial error in a very important time in the game. The error against Oklahoma cost us the football game. Now, up until then, I thought he had played a very good football game. 3 touchdowns, it looked like he'd managed, but when the game was on the line and the pressure was cranked up, he folded. 4th and 1 or 4th and whatever it was against Georgia, in between quarters, timeout, you go over there, you consult with your coach, and y'all are on the same page, and you come out and you're the smartest guy in the stadium, and you change a play, and you run into 3 guys unblocked, and you lose 4 yards. Just show me where he's doing something that tells me what you're saying, that he gives us the best chance to win.
All right, last thing, guys. I speak for a lot of Auburn fans when I say this. I think Auburn fans are sick and tired of hearing how the offense has gotten better. It is still terrible, and every year we go into a season, the offense is the problem. It continues to be the problem, and I'm just tired of it. We live in a society now, the time we're living in, the game of football is played on offense. Sorry, it is. And Auburn is only successful when they have a successful offense. And the offense for several years in a row has been absolutely horrendously pathetic. And I think Auburn fans, no, I don't think, I know. They're tired of hearing it. I know I am. And I'm pretty sure Brett Pritchard is.
Yeah, 4-12 and 1 of 3 on 4th down and 3rd down is not winning football. It's just not. You can say what you want to, and we can talk about all the yards that Auburn's compiling, and those numbers look great. It is odd. that we have the offensive production that we have, and the points don't follow because of turnovers and penalties and stupid things that go on like that. But when I look down at the stats and against big teams and you're 4-12 a third down, that's not going to beat anybody. That's not going to beat a good football team.
And I just think you got to look at the way the game is played in this time we live in.
I agree.
And fans are just tired of hearing that.
Appreciate it.
You have a great night.
Appreciate it, Terry. Thanks so much. Let's go back, Andy, to the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline.
Hey, it's me again. How you get?
Me again, Margaret.
Brett, well, first of all, where is David? Coach David at? That's number one. Number two, Brett.
Yeah.
You look like you done got off the sofa, buddy. Now, you know I'm already at the door. You off the sofa? And the next thing is this. What is it particularly that you are disappointed in? Is it you now, or is it coaching? Is it whatever? What are you particularly mad about? Because you seem like you getting off the sofa like I.
Well, James, let's be honest about it first. I mean, this is 4 years over 3 coaches. Everybody talking about. Look, Malzahn in the swamp look like Auburn in Central Florida uniforms. It's the same guys running around out there. It's the same 4 or 5 plays that he runs all the time. And, every blue moon he gets a big win, and everybody's like, he kind of baits everybody in. So all that narrative about I wish we'd kept Gus Malzahn, that's crap. We had to move on from that. Then we had Alan Green make one of the worst decisions in college football history and hire Brian Harsin, and we won't even go back into that. So we get Hugh Freeze, and everybody's kind of excited that he's going to, because we've seen he was successful at Ole Miss for the most part, and he went to Liberty and was successful, and, he kind of had to clean up some things in his personal life, but, thankful for the opportunity. But Andy said it just a minute ago. His scheme may be better, but the results on the field aren't coming through, and I know he's having to build up, and everybody's patient with the roster, but I don't see improvement on the field with the team overall. I mean, I don't see progress in the things that – look, if Georgia's better, way better roster-wise than Auburn, but if it's 31-13 or basically 31-6, is that getting better? Is that closing the gap against Georgia? It's not in my mind. Is 4 of 12 on third down getting better? No, it's not. That's the whole deal. It's not like we're stuck in the mud and we can't get out of it, and it really boils down to him making one crucial decision in the offseason, and that was to ride with Peyton Thorne. And then 2 games into the season, it got so bad, he even second-guessed himself and benched him for 2 games. And then Hank Brown came out and had such a horrific first half against Arkansas that he put Peyton Thorne back in at halftime. This is a guy that is just unsure of his own decisions right now.
Right. Well, the reason you know football, Brett, and you know football, your gut is hoping for the best, but you don't seen this movie before. That's why I done told you guys I am at the door. I done seen this movie before. You know football and you know football. You done seen it. You done seen the decisions that being made, that the wrong decision. You done seen it all. So that's what your gut is telling you now. That's why it's bothering you so bad, because you know football. You want the best for Auburn, but your gut, you done seen football enough to know you done seen this movie before. And where's David? And I hang up and listen. Thank you.
Appreciate it, James. David's just not with us anymore. And,
he's actually working with the Dable football team.
Yeah, he's working with Dable's football team now. So, they got a win this past week. So, I know they're excited about that. And Coach McKelvey down there. So, that's kind of how that worked out. But
I think we were all on the sofa very comfortably last year, even though we lost games we felt like we should. Even after the New Mexico State game, I think we were still sitting on the couch. But I think we're all standing up now. I don't know anybody that's sitting down on the couch.
But
now, I'm not at the door yet. But as I said, that's why I think this second half is so important. How are we going to finish this season
Andy, we had
with nothing to play? Because if we don't finish it well, then it's year 3 or you're gone, Hugh Freeze.
He had a golden opportunity.
But it's gone.
With a
Brett.
5, but I'm going to go back to get to where I need to go with the point. He had a golden opportunity, and this goes along with your point of why we're standing up now. Golden opportunity with a 5-game home stretch to start the season, although not the most opportune thing for, you don't want it all at one time and then be on the road a month. It was odd. We talked about it, but it was 5 winnable games, and you take the positive out of it. It's 5 games you should win at home or have a chance to win at home. It was nothing overly daunting in that. It wasn't like you lined up and played Georgia and Alabama and LSU in the first 5, okay? You had 2 very winnable games in Arkansas and Cal that you lost, and then you knew that Oklahoma would probably be the best of the 5 teams coming in, but you were hoping that you'd be 4-0 going into that game, and that raucous environment at Jordan-Hare would, and we played great up until the last.
You were expecting.
What you were expecting.
Yeah.
You won 2 games, dude, and you won the 2 games that everybody could have rolled a JV team out and beat. So you've beaten nobody of merit. Every team you've played this year that's a semblance of a good football team, you've gotten beat by. And again, the mistakes, beat yourself. I thought your quote was the best. Auburn's 0-3 against Auburn was perfect. But you're right. And now that ship has sailed, and you've won 2 ball games, and it's like, here we go again. You were brought in to give us better results. And to build, and the roster is getting better, but we're in a society now, Andy, that when you missed opportunities like that, man, they're multiplied. I mean, they're just magnified. It's worse. It's 10 times worse. It's like the loss you said for Alabama. There's a loss, and then there's a loss that you go, hey, man, that one's bad. We just got beat. It was not a fluke. It wasn't because we were flat. They just controlled the football game. Well, right now, Hugh Freeze, what does he have to hang his hat on in the first 2 seasons at Auburn?
1 win on the road at Arkansas.
I mean, that's it. That is it. The Ole Miss game last year was a very, very poor coached football game, I thought. The New Mexico State was an embarrassment.
Played Georgia tough, had Alabama beat, didn't win a one of them.
Didn't win a daggum thing. At the end of the day, you end up with an L. What has he done?
Again,
so
again, all that's past. We can talk about it. We can break it down. We can lament. We can talk about why it happened. Here's where we are. We're 2-4. Here's where Auburn is. They're 2-4. So what are you going to do now? You got a week off to heal up and to try to get on the same page. If you want to make a quarterback change, make it. He's
made it, and he's gone back.
I'm talking about Walker White.
Well,
if you're going to make it, you got 2 weeks to get him prepared, to get him to where he can run the offense. If you want to, and just say, look, we're going to ride with him. No,
Andy,
if he goes out and throws 6 interceptions against
How long
Missouri.
has Walker White been down there now?
A year.
I mean, is he 2 weeks to get him prepared? I mean,
I don't know. About a year. He just played. This was his first.
Well, he got here in December.
This was his first
we got
fall,
here in
right?
December.
Okay.
Right.
So clearly Peyton Thorne don't know the offense.
But see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's an idiotic statement at some point when you say he's the best chance to win and he ain't winning. He's not winning anything. I just look, doesn't mean Walker White's good. I would just say if Walker White is going to be a quarterback that you think's going to play next year, then why not start? Go ahead and let him cut his teeth in some real games instead of saying, kick off the year next year, and then there he is with his first start, and you go, well, dadgummit, why didn't you play him the second half of last year so he could be ahead of schedule?
Well, so let's play this out. We got to go to break. Let's say Auburn goes 3-9. Let's say we beat Louisiana Monroe. That's it. Okay. Now, I think there's, I'd say 15% chance they fire Hugh Freeze. 85% chance he comes back. But year 3,
they're not firing him.
If you don't,
he's not being fired.
I'm just saying.
There's a 0% chance he gets fired.
I've seen weirder things happen.
Ain't happening though.
But okay, so he comes back for year 3.
Yeah.
if he has a losing season or a 500 season in year
I
three,
think you got to part
he was
ways.
fired.
I think you got to part
That's
ways
a fact.
because that's
right?
horrific.
Of course.
That is not going in the right direction. It gives you 3 years. It doesn't matter what your recruiting's doing. I mean, you're not getting results done on the field.
So, I mean, now, what if you win, let's say you win Louisiana Monroe and maybe one or two, let's say you win 2 more. Let's say you end up 5-7. Okay, what does that change? Is that
just asked you.
Is that any different than 3-9?
I just asked you that.
So, okay, we're playing
It's not. It's not.
So it's the same thing. Year 3 is the same thing.
It's the same
The
jump.
only way it changes is if you basically win the next 5 games in a row.
All right, so going back to, and I know we got to get out, but we went on the road, and albeit we weren't a very good football team last year, we blew the doors off Arkansas. They come to our place this year and beat us now. Even though we turned the ball over 822 times, they ended up winning. Vanderbilt, we went on the road and beat them. Now, granted, they were not a very good football team, but we went on the road and beat them.
Yep.
They're going to come into Auburn more than likely and be favored. I just want you to think about that for just a second.
Now, wait a minute. Well, they are a 14-point dog to Kentucky.
Well,
I'm not saying they should be. I'm just saying they are. So,
look,
now,
I know there's a lot
happen.
of football to be played between now and then, but look, man, that guy ain't a fluke. He beat Virginia Tech. He should have beat. He had them. If they don't miss a chip shot field goal, they win the dadgum game in regulation. Pavia got them down there to win the game. He can't go out there and kick for them. That guy crapped his britches, and he missed it. He Vanderbilt, okay? Yeah. So they went to overtime on the road, and Missouri won the game, all right? He comes back against the number 1 team in the country at home, and they beat them from the opening gun to the end of the game. And Andy, normally Vanderbilt goes 3 and out at the end of the game, gives the ball back. He made play after play after play. He came to Auburn last year with New Mexico State and embarrassed us. There's no way I'm not riding with that guy. And there's no part of me that thinks Auburn is a better team than what he's going to roll out there.
Can Auburn beat Vanderbilt at home?
Well, that's the whole point. We lost to Arkansas after blowing them out. We went up and beat Vanderbilt handily, both on the road. And if the roles are reversed.
We beat Cal on the road and lost to them.
Right, okay, add Cal. Yeah. So the trend is if Vanderbilt rolls into town and you have regressed. I mean, if based on those teams, although they're not world beater teams, you went to their place and handled business, and now they've come to you in the next year where you said you got a better roster, and they've come in and beaten you.
I am aware. I was here for them. Past is not prologue, is what they say.
Right.
Yeah, create your own future, Auburn. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Foshie's Watts on Dable Road in Alexander City is always making improvements, making it bigger, like making their pellet ice a 10-pound bag for $2. How about their biscuits? Have you tried their biscuits with regular cheese or hoop cheese with sausage and ham and salmon, and throw an egg on there, and you got a happy person. And don't forget about they have propane and wood. That's Foshie's Watts, Dable Road, Alex City.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag, and kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Gorees Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
GMC SUVs, GMC SUVs. On sale now at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. The GMC Terrain, the compact SUV with seating for 5. And now discounted up to $6,500 off. The full-size GMC Yukons, discounted up to $9,000 off. Choose from almost 200 new GMCs. Get your best price every day on the lot or online at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn. I did it again. Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you.
You'll blink and you'll be here for all.
I know. Tomorrow, just a couple more segments in tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. A lot of games outside of Auburn and Alabama played this weekend. They were not. Auburn and Alabama were not the only two teams to lose. Tennessee goes to Arkansas and loses 19-14. A backup quarterback leading Arkansas down the field. Couple of things about this game, Brett. Number one, Mr. Iamaleava throws for 158 yards in this game. His numbers look a lot like Peyton Thorne.
$7 million man.
0 touchdowns, 0 picks. But how about Travis Williams and that Arkansas defense? Man, they are looking really good. And again, a backup quarterback. What do you think about Tennessee letting them score there at the end?
I'll be honest with you. This was the most disappointing game probably of the whole weekend, even though Vanderbilt shocked Alabama. I mean, Tennessee, I don't think anybody really thought Arkansas was going to win this game. And, again, Tennessee, when you're ready to say they're back, when you're ready to say that they've turned the corner, they do this. And it's like, man, they looked so good up until this point. And, again, I think we found out that Oklahoma's just not very good. And we'll talk about that game coming up. Red River Rock. Glenn already commented and said it's Red River week, and it is.
Don't be surprised if that's a tight game.
Well, I mean, it always is. Yeah. But I don't think Oklahoma obviously is as good as everybody thought they were. And so Tennessee going out there, though, and dominating them was pretty impressive. And
still didn't put near as many yards as Auburn did.
No, they didn't. But going to Arkansas, I felt like Tennessee would probably win that game pretty easily. And, again, when you look at it, it just seems like Tennessee could never get anything consistent going on offense. And you know what? Credit Sam Pittman. His seat was incredibly hot going into this season, and he's won a couple really big football games. He's won that game on the road against Auburn, and he knocked off one of the top teams in the country.
He looked like a genius for going out and hiring Bobby Petrino.
Well, and not that – I tell you, he needs to credit Travis Williams.
Absolutely.
The genius of it all is Travis Williams won a football game at Auburn, and he won a football game against Tennessee. Now, he's not getting the offensive side. Bob Petrino, that's not. 431 yards of total offense, but they only put 19 points, so he's not burning the scoreboard.
They are a whole lot better than they were last year.
A lot better. So, but look.
Of course, that Taylor Green got a lot to do with that, too.
Arkansas, tip of the hat. Hey, they lost a close one to Texas A&M, but we're finding out A&M may be.
All of a sudden, Texas A&M looks like, hey, I mean, they may make the play. Speaking of James, talking about Colorado ain't making the playoff, but Texas A&M, I mean, their schedule.
Well, I'll tell you this, I will say this about Colorado, and I know they've won a couple miraculous games, but their schedule's weak. And if they do get past Kansas State at home, I mean, there's some kind of fairy dust over Dion right now, and they just he's not a tough path. I'm not going to say not, but look, Texas A&M, normally about halfway through the season we kind of reevaluate our picks, right? I think it's about time to do that. I think a lot of people with Mike Elko just thought, and A&M's just always that team. He's got a bunch of money, and, man, he's getting stuff done. And, look, Missouri, although they were number 9, and a lot of people still aren't bought into Missouri, Texas A&M just whipped their rear end.
Yeah, they blew the doors off.
Just blew them out. Never was a game. And Connor Weigman coming back, 18 of 22, 276 yards, but ran the football.
Yeah, put up 41 points and didn't throw a touchdown.
And didn't throw a touchdown pass, just getting it done. And they put up 41 points and committed 10 penalties. So you clean that up and play a little bit cleaner football, could be better. So Ole Miss bounced back. Boy, South Carolina. Ooh.
Yeah, I thought Sellers came back, and I thought, man, that offense would – they looked so good when he was in the game against LSU, and being at home like that, I thought, man, they got a great chance, and they just did nuts. It was –
After Ole Miss came off a home loss to Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's just a bizarre year right now.
It is.
Of course, the only constant
South Carolina
is
goes to Kentucky and blows them out.
Right. Who knew? I mean, it's the only game. Like, everybody was like riding that bandwagon for 2 weeks until the wheels fall off. But, the one team that's been consistent is Auburn. We have been consistently bad from the start.
And give Florida credit. They took care of Central Florida, although Central Florida
Gus
KJ Jefferson.
Gus rolled in with the same.
It's funny.
5 plays.
He looks like the same guy at Central Florida he did at Arkansas.
Yep, and Kobe Hudson and everybody else out there is the same bunch. I mean.
And Gus is the same old guy.
It's the same 5 plays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same 5 plays, playbook, and, that's about what you get.
Let's go ahead and take another break. We'll come back and look at some games this week in college football. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full-service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you. We are going to look at some games this upcoming week, although how about baseball playoffs, man? I mean, you got the ALDS and the NLDS, all games tied, all series tied 1-1.
Right, well, not, yeah.
Well, I mean, the Mets actually won tonight.
Mets won tonight.
Take a 2-1 to lead.
Yeah.
But.
Hey, I want to ask you a quick question before I go back into that.
Okay.
Who's better, Travis Hunter or Charles Woodson? Charles Woodson's, I mean, that's what he did at Michigan, right? Charles Woodson was offense, defense, and he didn't play the snaps, but, you know, that's what ultimately won him the Heisman.
Yeah.
Is that, man, that game against Ohio State, I mean, he picked the pass off, he ran a punt back for a touchdown, he intercepted. I mean, he just made play after play after play, and, you know, he's all over. It was Travis Hunter. I mean, does Travis Hunter win the Heisman this year?
He ought to be up for it for sure.
Right now, a lot of polls he's leading, and Cam Ward's too. I mean, you know, the Boise State running backs up there too.
Okay.
So those are the three guys right now that. I mean,
I haven't watched him enough to really have that. I haven't even looked at his numbers, but I know he's been very impressive.
Everybody says he's the best player in the league. It's in college football. So we'll see. A lot of football left to play.
That is for sure. All right, some games coming up this weekend. Kansas State is number 18 in the country. They are 4-1. They're a 3.5-point favorite on the road. Huge game in Colorado. I don't know when the last biggest game in Colorado was, but this is it. It's probably been a decade maybe since they had one. This will be at 9:15 on ESPN. So after the day is finished and you want a nightcap, Kansas State and Colorado ought to be an interesting one.
I guess the brown water will come out and everybody will kick back and that'll be the nightcap for the weekend.
Who you liking that one?
Colorado's got some type of mystique going right now. I'm not overly sold on Kansas State.
No.
I'm gonna say Colorado, man. I'm gonna ride with them. I think they get it done and improve to 5-1.
Well, Baylor is a bad team, and how in the world Colorado beat them?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's just something.
So, but it may be that kind of year. We'll see. They may be that team this year. Who knows? Cal is at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's number 22. Pittsburgh stunk last year. They have turned it around, 5-0, 1-0 in the ACC. They're a 3-point favorite over the Bears. I mean, after a 25-point blown lead halfway through the third quarter. That's almost we're talking Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl here.
They got to come all the way across the country and play Pittsburgh. They're going to lose. They lost to Florida State.
They're pretty good on the road.
They should have lost it. No, they're not. They just played Auburn. They went to Florida State and lost. That should tell you how bad they are, really. And, going with that point of this traveling, did you see that equipment truck graphic I posted on Facebook of how far the Miami equipment truck had to drive just to get to Cal? It was 3,100 miles one way to get their equipment out to play a conference football game. Yeah. This is what we're doing, dude. This is absolutely stupidity at the highest level. Yep. And now Cal will have made 3 cross-country trips in 4 weeks. Auburn, Florida State, and now Pittsburgh. What are we doing, dude? I mean, this is beyond stupidity at this point.
Yeah. For all the environmentalists out there that are always complaining,
especially all the ones at Cal,
I ain't heard any of them mention college football.
Zero. I mean, there's more trails across the sky from college football teams than there is anything.
Goodness.
Now, James Franklin's complaining because they got to fly out to wherever it is that they're playing. Where are they playing?
USC.
Yeah, they can't even take off from State College. I mean, they got to go to Harrisburg because the runway ain't long enough because they can't get a big enough plane in there to load all the stuff that they got to have and get the fuel. The runway ain't long enough. So now he's petitioning the city to build a bigger airport. I mean, this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, we all knew these were the things that were going to happen. And, again, you got to embarrass somebody before something happens, and maybe this will do it. Number 4, Penn State, by the way, a 4-point favorite. What in the world has happened to USC? Getting beat by Minnesota last week.
Man, I'm telling you, boys.
Can Penn State go on the road and win that game?
They can. USC.
This seems like a James Franklin moment.
Lincoln Riley. What has he ever won?
Nothing big. He won a lot of regular season games.
Well, I mean, yeah. But then cannot stop anybody.
Refuses to play defense for whatever reason.
So you get what you get, man. And South Carolina, Southern Cal sold their soul to get Lincoln Riley. They gave him 2 jets and 14 houses and $1 bazillion and everything else. And this is what he's gotten them right now, 3-2.
Iowa State is undefeated. They're number 11 in the country, a 3-point favorite on the road at West Virginia. Somebody the other day said, what about Iowa State's coach at Auburn?
Please.
I said, I don't want another thing
can we not,
from Iowa State.
Do not hire any. Listen to this point Jim makes. He said, when Auburn loses to Vandy on November the 2nd, he Freeze will have lost to Diego Pavia 3 times in 3 years. Lost at Liberty 49-14.
Got hammered.
Lost last year 31-10. He's been hammered twice. Mm-hmm. And then by the time they get to Auburn, if Auburn's on a losing streak, which they are right now, I mean, if they continue the losing streak.
Is he a senior?
I don't know what he is.
What year is he?
What he is. He's a winner is what he is.
That's true. South Carolina's at Alabama. Dare I say. I mean, Alabama, they bounce back and embarrass
Alabama will annihilate South Carolina.
They better.
You talk about.
They better.
No. You talk about not wanting to be a team. You just got embarrassed at home by Ole Miss, and now you got to go to Tuscaloosa.
They were on the road.
They had Ole Miss. Were they at Ole Miss?
No, they were. I mean,
that's what I said.
I thought you meant Alabama got embarrassed at home.
No, I said South Carolina got embarrassed at home.
I thought you meant
said
Alabama.
Don't want to be South Carolina.
No.
They got to go to Tuscaloosa after getting embarrassed at home.
You're right.
And now they got to roll in into the most pissed off Alabama team in the history of man. Because every fan has, and these players, I mean, Malachi Moore wants to fight everybody from here to the state line. And I don't blame him. He's upset. They are going to try to decapitate players for South Carolina. I think Alabama wins this in massive fashion. I do, man.
They better. I'll just say that.
I mean, they will.
If it's tied at the half.
It's not going to be. It's not.
Can you imagine
it's
the fans?
Not.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Can you imagine Robbie Ashford making a return to Tuscaloosa and doing what he did a few years ago?
How about Florida at Tennessee? Any chance?
No, not at Tennessee.
How about Vandy at Kentucky?
I don't really.
Again, Kentucky is a 14-point favorite in this game.
What are they knowing that we don't?
Exactly the same. Same thing with Alabama.
Yeah.
Big win over Georgia, taking them lightly. Now, nobody's going to take Vandy lightly.
Vanderbilt, they're still celebrating, and I don't blame them. And they'll probably be celebrating tomorrow and Thursday, and come Friday they go, oh, by the way, we got another game this week. I say Kentucky wins the game because
I think it's the lock of the week.
I do too. I think it's the lock of the week. I agree with you.
Ole Miss at LSU. Interesting. Ole Miss only a 2.5-point favorite.
I don't have any faith
Baton Rouge.
In Brian Kelly, man.
It's at night in Baton Rouge. We'll see.
I hope LSU wins because I hate Lane Kiffin.
I think I like LSU in this one. I don't know.
Yep.
Texas and Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry shootout, showdown.
Texas is mad still that they lost this game last year.
That is true.
They cover.
Arch Manning playing in this one, or
Quinn Ewers?
Quinn Ewers back.
I don't know.
That might be.
I think they win it, and I think they cover the 14.5. I don't think it's close.
And the sneakiest team in college football, Oregon, has snuck up to number 3 without anybody really noticing. Number 2 versus number 3, Ohio State at Oregon. Both teams undefeated. 6:30 on NBC.
Gonna be a good football game.
I would say so.
Oregon's not.
They have not looked overly impressive.
They haven't. But you know what? Kudos. They just keep winning.
Yeah.
I'd love for everybody to look at Auburn and go, we know they're really not that good a football team, but, man, they're 5-0.
Sneaky good.
Sneaky good. Just finding ways to win.
That team's sneaky bad.
Auburn finds ways to turn it over. Leads the country in turnover.
That's right.
So.
Oh, well. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight. We're several breaks behind. We'll let the credits roll. He is Brett Pritchard. I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama, is looking to see you today. Now, let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now, they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscar's, Highway 49 South in Dadeville. 256-825-4827.
The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rate. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekend. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
At Team One Hyundai, it's the Summer Savings Sales Event. All new Hyundais will be sold at employee pricing, plus an unheard of $1,000 bonus for your trade-in. See our huge selection of new and pre-owned inventory at team1hyundai.com. Don't miss the summer savings with employee pricing, plus a $1,000 bonus for your trade. Team One Hyundai of Gadsden, where the experience exceeds your expectations.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SEC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Announcing Camping World's Inflation Buster camping program. You can now get into a new RV starting at just $98 a month. We won't let the economy steal your camping season. Take advantage of this very limited time offer and lock in your low monthly payment today.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need. With top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill. And our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
With summer here, the kids out of school, and fun at the lake, illness or injury can strike at any time. Whether you're on vacation or just don't have time to go see your primary doctor, visit your friends and professionals at Ivy Creek Urgent Care, located at Highway 49 South, next to Stillwater's main entrance. With a rotation of 4 professional doctors and 3 nurse practitioners, they honor all walk-ins, get you in, properly treated, and out swift so you can be back to the summer fun fast. When you need urgent, see Ivy Creek Urgent Care, Daveville. No appointment needed.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Landowners, farmers, and landscapers, it's time to fall back this fall at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor on Highway 280 in Alex City. Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor has the year's best terms on almost all our Mahindra tractors. Now, get up to 84 months of 0% financing on Mahindra 1600 to 4500 series tractors. And package up with all your implement needs. Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor also has 0% financing or up to $1,000 rebates on most 24 Spartan zero-turn mowers. The rates can't fall anymore at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor.
Summertime is a special time. Time on the water, time away from work, and more time with family and friends. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.